viewers, you're watching 6 Stories at 6 and I'm Rakshita Mishra with you. Viewers, the top story today is the Deoband diplomacy and how the Afghan foreign minister visited the Darul Uloom today, and what significance, what connection does it have? We're going to tell you on this show if we can. Story number 2 is how Pakistan is on ventilator. This time Lahore is on the boil, and Pakistan's own proxy, Pak Army's own proxy, the TLP, is now coming to bite the Shahbaz Sharif government and the Pak forces. And viewers, it's a big alarm that has been set off by the pilot's body on the 787 fleet. Story number 4 we move on to next will be how Bengal has been shamed once again. A rerun of RG Kaur, a medical student from Odisha, raped in Durgapur on the hospital premises, viewers. And story number 5 will be the update on the Tata logjam. Republic TV gets you the inside scoop. Only on Republic, viewers, we get you the latest updates on the Tata Sons listing. Is it happening? What's really happening behind the scenes? And finally, viewers, the update on Kokanag operation and tribute to the 2 soldiers who laid down their lives for the country. We were starting with the reset in India-Afghan ties as Afghan foreign minister arrived in Deoband in Saharanpur of Uttar Pradesh, one of the most influential Islamic seminaries in South Asia, that is. Now, remember, this is a potential center for spiritual diplomacy, a neutral and culturally significant venue that fosters ties with India even more closer. And Afghan Foreign Minister Amir Muttaqi voiced his confidence as he visited the seminary, saying that India-Afghan ties will grow stronger in the future, as he thanked the people for the welcome. He got a rousing welcome, he got a guard of honor as well when he was visiting Darul Uloom in Deoband. Viewers, listen in.
बहुत अच्छा सफ़र है और उलमाए देवबंद, तलबाए देवबंद, बल्कि सारे इलाके के लोग आया है। मैं इसके मशकूर हूँ। उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा इस्तकबाल किया और उन्होंने ज़्यादा मेहमान नवाजी किया। ज़ाहिर है कि उलमा और तलबा के दरमियान वाबस्तगी बहुत तारीख़ी है, इसलिए मैं आप हज़रात और देवबंद का काबिरीन और इलाके के जो उलमा है, तलबा है और आवाम है, सबका मशकूर हूँ।
Meanwhile, tensions are high in Lahore, viewers. Already Pakistan is irked with what's happening between India and Afghanistan. But in Lahore, viewers, we see that violent clashes have erupted between the police and the supporters of the radical Islamist group Tehreek-e-Labbaik in Pakistan, the TLP, that has left several people injured. And in fact, several have been killed, as claimed by the TLP. TLP says that civilians have been targeted by the Pakistani forces and that at least 11 civilians have been killed. Demonstrators marched towards the US consulate in Islamabad, but they were met with heavy police response. Here's more.
The violence in Pakistan's Lahore has intensified. The clash between TLP protesters and police in Lahore have resulted in multiple individuals being injured. TLP chief has alleged that 11 TLP workers have been killed and over 2 dozens have been injured. The violence erupted in Pakistan's Lahore city yesterday as clashes broke out between police and supporters of the radical Islamist group Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan. 2 people were killed and dozens injured, including policemen, as protesters attempted to march towards the US consulate and later to Islamabad in protest against Israel's actions in Gaza. The protests quickly spiraled out of control, with demonstrators hurling stones and beating officers with sticks, while police responded with baton charges and tear gas to push them back. The clashes left parts of Lahore virtually paralyzed, with roads blocked and heavy security presence on the streets. The unrest comes even as Hamas and Israel reached a ceasefire deal brokered by the United States. Yet tensions in Pakistan remain high, underscoring the government's struggle to maintain order amid surging public anger.
Amid a growing safety uproar, or uproar over safety regarding Air India's Boeing 787 Dreamliners, viewers. The Federation of Indian Pilots have written to the Civil Aviation Ministry demanding the grounding of the entire Boeing 787 fleet, which has been under scan already. And this coming in now after two back-to-back technical incidents and mounting concerns over the electrical system failure. Here's a detailed report.
Continued chaos, multiple technical glitches, mid-air scares and the invocation of the ram air turbine. Safety alarms are ringing louder than ever for Air India's Boeing 787 Dreamliners. And now, pilots are demanding that the entire 787 fleet operated by Air India be grounded. The grouping made the demand in a letter to Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu. The letter mentions malfunctioning electronic systems on two recent Air India flights. On October 4, AI 117 from Amritsar to Birmingham was grounded after RAD deployment mid-descent, a critical safety event. On October 9, AI 154 from Vienna to Delhi was diverted to Dubai after autopilot and flight control system failures mid-air. The pilot's body says these are critical failures, indicators of Air India's poor serviceability, and claims snags have spiked after new private engineers replaced government-owned easel staff. The letter also cites the June 12 Ahmedabad crash of AI 171, which killed 260 people. Pilots say safety lapses are rising after the maintenance overhaul. The Federation of Indian Pilots has made three key demands: investigate both recent incidents, ground all 787s, and order a special DGCA audit. Air India has rejected the claims of electrical failure. The airline says RAD deployment was uncommanded, but there was no loss of power or control. Meanwhile, the DGCA is yet to officially respond, but with repeated incidents and pilots warning of danger, pressure is mounting on the government. Multiple snags, a deadly crash in the backdrop, and now pilots demanding grounding. India's Dreamliner fleet in Air India faces its toughest safety scrutiny yet.
And now it was another shocker that has come in from West Bengal. A second-year medical student from Durgapur, from Odisha in Durgapur, was allegedly gang raped right outside the college campus, viewers. This comes as a rerun of what happened in RG Kaur. And this incident that happened late Friday night triggered protests in Paschim Bardhaman and raised fresh questions on the campus security and the state administration's accountability. Here's the full story.
Mamata's Bengal has failed once again. A second-year medical student from Odisha has been allegedly gang raped in Durgapur, right outside her college campus. The victim had gone out for dinner with a friend when she was allegedly attacked. Her family says that the friend who accompanied her fled the scene when 2 or 3 men arrived.
ঘটনা সম্ভবত এখানে এসে আমরা তো কিছু জানি না, তরবর করে এখানে জিজ্ঞেস করে দেখলাম। এখানে 9:30 মধ্যে একজন ছেলে, ওদের নামটা কি ওয়াসিম খান নাকি ওয়াসওয়ালিয়া, ও বললো গুপচুপ খাবো, চলো দেখি সেদিকে ভুলে ওকে নিয়ে গেছে। কোন দিকে? আপনার গেট কাছে। আচ্ছা, তো গেট কাছে নিয়ে গেছে। আমরা তারপরে ও কি 2 জন না 3 জন লোক এসে, যখন 3 জন লোক এসে গেছে, ও ছাড়িয়ে সেখানে ওকে পালিয়ে এসেছে। তার মধ্যে একজন ওকে রেপ করেছে। এটা সম্ভবত 8টা, 8:30, 9টার মধ্যে।
The family, who travelled from Jaleshwar in Odisha, has accused the college authorities and the local administration of complete apathy. The remark reignites the anger that has simmered since the RG Kaur Medical College rape and murder case.
ये सब घटना कॉलेज में कैसे किस लिए घटेगा? लॉ कॉलेज में जो घटना घटी थी कॉलेज का आदमी नहीं घटाया, मेरा लड़की के साथ जो घटना है कॉलेज का आदमी नहीं घटाया है। जो क्रिमिनल है सब कॉलेज का अंदर ही है, वो सब अभी तक खुल्लम खुल्ला घूर रहा है। हम लोग किसी को सामने नहीं जा रहा है, मुंह नहीं दे रहा, देखा पा रहा है, मेरा लड़की का नाम सामने नहीं ला रहा है। ये सब होने से ये जो प्रशासन है कोई काम नहीं कर रहा है, इसलिए ये घटना हर दिन बढ़ रहा है।
Political voices too have begun to rise. Opposition leaders calling this a complete administrative collapse.
আপনারা সবাই দেখতে পাচ্ছেন মেয়ের মা বাবা বলছে, মেয়ে বলছে এবং পুলিশ এসেছিল। আমরা পুলিশকে রিকোয়েস্ট করছি যাতে পুলিশ যারা অপরাধী তাদেরকে যেন খুব তাড়াতাড়ি অ্যারেস্ট করে। আমরা অপেক্ষা করছি পুলিশের জন্য, স্টেপের জন্য।
মানে পুলিশ আসা মানে তো আমাদের এখন সন্দেহ হয় যে টেম্পারিং করা হচ্ছে, তথ্য লোপাটের চেষ্টা করা হয়েছে, উপর থেকে ফোন এসছে যেটাকে মেটাও, এটাকে যে করে মেটাও, এরপরে টাকা পয়সার অফার হবে।
Even as the police say that the investigation is underway, the lawlessness, the sheer audacity of the perpetrators in West Bengal is glaring. From Arjikar to Durgapur, the pattern is impossible to ignore. Repeated crimes, unending protests, and a system that seems unmoved.
The Tata Sons saga continues to unfold, but amidst the drama, a significant development is taking shape. Sources suggest that the much-anticipated public listing of Tata Sons is now looking inevitable. Growing consensus is building around the move, with the majority of trustees reportedly on board. And Republic's editor-in-chief Arnab Goswami is pointing out now that this could be the biggest listing India has ever seen. Here's more.
Amid the whole Tata Sons saga going, the much anticipated Tata Sons' public listing is now looking inevitable. There's a growing consensus building around the move, with majority of trustees said to be on board. Many believe that a listing is in Tata Sons' best interest. A move that would bring greater transparency and good governance to one of India's biggest business groups. The buzz within Bombay House is unmistakable, and the Finance Ministry's decision could soon seal the deal.
It is that the Finance Ministry will have to take a call on listing very soon. RBI is for listing. Finance Ministry is on listing. Will the government ask for listing very soon? If the government asks for listing, then Pranav, this is the biggest business story of the decade, the listing of Tatas. Can you imagine? The listing of Tata Sons. What that will be in monumental terms, in terms of the unlocking, in terms of the unlocking of value, the unlocking of value, the unlocking of shareholder value, the opportunity for Shapurji Palonji is a very small matter in the bigger story.
As of now, total 26 companies of Tata Sons are listed in the public markets. As Republic's editor-in-chief Arnab Goswami highlighted, if all goes through, India may witness its biggest ever listing, the Tata Sons debut on the Dalal Street.
Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha today laid wreath and paid tribute to two para-commandos who lost their lives during the counter-terror operation in Jammu Kashmir's Kokarnak. The bodies of Lance Havildar Palash Ghosh and Lance Naik Sujoy Ghosh went missing earlier this week, were recovered after an intense search in the snow-covered Kishtwar range. Here's more.
Wreaths laid, eyes moist, and a nation in mourning. Lance Havildar Palash Ghosh and Lance Naik Sujay Ghosh were given a tearful farewell. The supreme sacrifice saluted by comrades and top officials. Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha led the tribute in Srinagar, honouring the para-commandos who never returned from a perilous mission in Kokarnak. The bodies were recovered after days of intense search operations in high-altitude Kishtwar range of Kokarnak, where they had gone missing earlier this week. The elite soldiers were part of a combing operation in the Ahlan Gadal area when a sudden snowstorm cut off all communication. Choppers, drones, and sniffer dogs were rushed in for the search. But the mission turned into a battle with nature itself. Officials say the soldiers likely succumbed to hypothermia as temperatures plummeted below freezing. Their personal weapons and gear were recovered intact. Chinar Corps paid glowing tributes to the fallen commandos, saying their courage and dedication will forever inspire a generation of soldiers. As the bugle sounded the last post, the valley stood in silence. Two brave hearts lost but never forgotten. In Kokernag's icy mountains, Lance Havildar Palash Ghosh and Lance Naik Sujay Ghosh became symbols of silent valor, their names now etched in the nation's memory.
That's all we could pack it in this edition of 6 Stories at 6. We'll be right back with more.
Just yesterday I was mentioning that Pakistan has promised to Donald Trump, we will deliver Bagram to you. Donald Trump had been muttering all kind of threats against Afghanistan. Well, they might as well give it straight, it belongs to us, we built it. There was a factual error. The Americans did not build the Bagram Air Base, it was built by the Soviets. Nevertheless, the simple fact is that Donald Trump was saying, hand it over or else. Everybody knows the chaotic, the disgraceful way in which the Americans had left Afghanistan on the orders of Joe Biden. And his top brass had hastened to carry out his orders. Even before withdrawing their civilians, their citizens, they had withdrawn on the orders to please the former president. And the tamasha that it created before the world is a spectacle that few will forget in a hurry. Now, Pakistan has tried to deliver last night on its promise of that it will punish the Pashtuns to an extent that they will get on their knees and hand over the Bagram base to United States of America. And how did they do it? Last night the ISPR was crowing. Our F-16s have launched a specific strike in Kabul and they have blasted to smithereens and killed, Masood, the commander of the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. You could note the sense of triumphalism in their tones as they hit a country which has no air force. The Pakistani Air Force is especially active against nations which do not have an air force. And Pakistan attacked Kabul and was doing its war dance. Then, unfortunately for them, they got the news it had been a total miss. Masood was alive and kicking, and he came onto television, he came onto the media to say that here I am without a bloody scratch. It's all a cock and bull story as always. And the ISPR was so embarrassed that they cancelled their, triumphalist press conference that was supposed to be. Look, this is the third air attack on Afghanistan. Third air attack in about just so many months. They attacked two villages in Afghanistan and they killed 52 women and children. Today they have attacked Kabul. Fortunately, they haven't been able to kill even a dog or a cat. That's the level of the accuracy of their delivery of so-called precision-guided munitions. Right? It was a total damn squib. So embarrassing that Pakistan tried to deny that it had launched that attack at all. Right? It quickly backtracked because Had they been able to kill Masood, they would have gone to town, they would have run to Washington. Look at the way we are punishing these people. Just stop their food. Prevent India from sending food to Afghanistan. We won't let their convoys go via the land route. Donald Trump, please block the sea route via Chabahar. Sir, despite that, India has provided aid to Pakistan using the air route. We will do it anyhow. We have a base in Tajikistan and we will help the people of Afghanistan who have been patiently suffering at the hands of Pakistan for all these decades. It is Pakistan which has caused all the bloodshed, misery and loss of life and property in Afghanistan. Right? And if it was left to Pakistan, they would like to ensure that Afghanistan never settles down to a peaceful way of existence. But the Afghans have realized it. Their foreign minister is here in Delhi. He is here for about 8 days. 20 ambulances, foodstuff, medicines have already been sent for the Afghan people, especially those who suffered in the earthquake. Right? And now, we are going to present 5 more ambulances to Muttaqi Sahab in a token display here, which we will deliver to Afghanistan, despite the land blockade, the food blockade by Pakistan, despite the food blockade by the United States of America, which is trying to block the sea route, which is trying to ensure that they reduce the Afghans to starvation so that they hand over the Bagram air base, and Pakistan, their attack dog, has been given this task, a task doomed to failure. Jai Bharat, Jai Hind.
आज 11 अक्टूबर का ये दिन बहुत ही ऐतिहासिक है। आज नया इतिहास रचने वाले मां भारती के 2 महान रत्नों की जन्म जयंती है। भारत रत्न श्री जयप्रकाश नारायण जी और भारत रत्न श्री नानाजी देशमुख, ये दोनों ही महान सपूत ग्रामीण भारत की आवाज थे, लोकतंत्र की क्रांति के अगुवा थे, किसानों और गरीबों के कल्याण के लिए समर्पित थे। आज इस ऐतिहासिक दिन देश की आत्मनिर्भरता के लिए, किसानों के कल्याण के लिए 2 महत्वपूर्ण नई योजनाओं की शुरुआत हो रही है। पहली, प्रधानमंत्री धन धान्य कृषि योजना और दूसरी दलहन आत्मनिर्भरता मिशन। ये 2 योजनाएं भारत के करोड़ों किसानों का भाग्य बदलने का काम करेगी। इन योजनाओं पर भारत सरकार करीब 35,000 करोड़ रुपए से ज्यादा खर्च करने वाली है।